Hi, everybody. I'm Anna, and I am the activities coordinator at the Mount Washington Valley Adult Day Center. And good news, we are reopening on Monday, June 29th. We are so excited. And on behalf of the entire ADC team, we're making this video to help our guests and families understand what changes we're making now that we're reopening at this time. So the first thing I want to share is that we are following the guidance of a document called Safer at Home Adult Day Services that was issued by the governor's office in collaboration with the adult day centers in the state. So if you want to look at that document, you can look for it online. It's available for the public. So what I'm going to do is just go over some of the new policies and procedures to reassure families and guests about safety here at the center, and also to help people understand what to expect ahead of time, because there are going to be some changes like with drop-off. So the first thing that is important for everyone to know is that all of the staff right now, we're being trained in safe practices related to social distancing, hand washing, face masks, how you put them on, how you take them off safely, and general infection control and sanitation. Some of you know that we have always been meticulous about cleaning the space here. And I mention that because we're in good stead. We already have a routine of cleaning thoroughly, regularly. And in fact, our pre-COVID-19 cleaning protocol passes the test for what we need to be doing now. So that's good. We already have a very comprehensive cleaning strategy in place that we'll continue doing and documenting. All employees get screened for symptoms and risk factors before each shift, so you know that everybody that's here is healthy and well. And we're also now practicing social distancing in the building as we're getting ready for opening, and we will continue to do that. So you see me not wearing a mask, it's only because I'm in my office with the door closed and I'm making this video for you. Okay, I open up the door, my mask is on. We're all wearing masks all the time. We want to reassure you all that everybody gets screened, not just the staff before each shift, but we'll be screening every guest that comes to the center every day. So we're all getting screened for the same symptoms and risk factors. The screening, what that consists of is temperature and asking a series of questions about symptoms and whether or not you've been exposed, whether or not you've been in high-risk situations, like if someone in your household has been diagnosed with COVID-19. For those of you who have been to a doctor's office during this time, these questions will be very familiar to you. Okay, throughout the day, when guests are here, nurses will be monitoring for symptoms the entire time. And we have a plan in place where if we notice a symptom, we will take care of it, take care of that person, and take care of the group immediately. We have signs posted letting people know that if you feel sick, do not come. So if your guest wakes up with any of the symptoms, we're asking you to please give us a call and stay home. You can take their temperature at home, and if they wake up with a temperature outside of range, then it's best to stay home until all the symptoms clear up. Okay, so that's about just screening for our own health and safety, so that you know that everybody here is being screened. Organizationally, there's some significant changes. We are only going to have 16 guests at a time for now, because we may not meet in groups larger than 10. So we'll have 2 staff on, including a nurse. You'll have a nurse and an activity staff on with 8 guests. And so we'll have 2 groups of 10 moving about in the center space. We are very blessed that we have this huge, beautiful well-designed facility. And so we've moved the furniture around, and we've practiced walking groups through, like, how will this look? We can do this, no problem. The guests are set up, the chairs are set up 6 feet, at least 6 feet from each other. We've reorganized dining areas, so we have 2 different dining areas where guests will be sitting at least 6 feet apart from each other. And we have a very strict cleaning and disinfecting program that is based in the CDC guidance. And basically, it's what we were doing even before COVID-19. So I'm just giving us a little bit of credit. We take safety and hygiene very seriously here. And some of you know that we had a very comprehensive cleaning strategy in place prior to COVID-19. And so we will keep up a very high bar of cleaning that satisfies the CDC guidance. Okay, so those are like the broad strokes of what we're doing here. We're also going to maximize outdoor activities, because fresh air and there's lots of room outside. So we'll, whenever possible, based on heat, rain, we'll have 1 group of 10 outside and 1 group inside. Because we only will have essential staff in here, that means we won't have the program staff that teach dance, yoga, artifact exploration. They won't be in for a while still. But we will still be doing activities. And when there's anything hands-on, everybody will have their own activity bag. So everyone will have their own colored pencils, their own pen. When we play bingo, everyone will have their own bag clearly labeled with the bingo cards that only they touch, bingo chips that only they touch, okay? And they'll be clearly marked and organized in a way of distance and cleaning. And we'll be cleaning surfaces that they're on before and after. We have removed all items like books, for example, that can't be disinfected in a way that meets the CDC guidelines for now. We're not a library, so we're not equipped yet to be managing books. At some point, maybe we will, but for now, we've just removed all books and any shared materials that can't be disinfected easily. Okay. What we also want you to know, and I hope, of course, like that this doesn't surprise you, is that one of our jobs is just going to be supporting guests wearing their masks appropriately. So some people are used to wearing masks, some people aren't. And we are going to be wearing masks here. Even though we're socially distancing, we're keeping 6 feet apart, we also need to be wearing our masks. So staff will be aware of that, and we'll be exploring different ways to help guests feel comfortable having the mask on their face. And staff will also be monitoring and encouraging lots of hand washing, soap and water, as well as Purell. So that is like top of mind, making sure that we're doing hand washing, good hand washing, and wearing our masks appropriately. So now we're going to segue into when you're packing up materials for the guest to come here. If the guest has a mask that they're used to wearing, please send them with that so that they can wear a mask that they're used to, a clean mask that they're used to. Also, please make sure that they have the briefs or depends that they might need while they're here. Please pack some extras and we'll make sure they get to where they need to go. And if you're not sure whether they have a change of clothes here, please send in a change of clothes. And any medicines or creams, if they have a cream that's going on a part of their body, please make sure you send those in, and the nurses will make sure that people are getting the creams and the medicines that they need at the appropriate times. And they've been in touch with you. So this is just a reminder to send those materials in. The last thing we're going to go over, and I know this, we're moving quickly through the material, that's why we made a video so that you can go over it again, is the drop-off and pickup procedure. Since only essential staff and guests are coming in, that means that families and caregivers are not. So how do you get people here? As you probably know from phone calls with Devin or Julianne, we're staggering arrival times. And what's going to happen is we're going to ask you to drive up to the portico in front of the front door and wait for the nurse to come out. So you're not getting out of the car. You're staying in the car with the guest until the nurse comes out. And If you're on time and you don't see anyone, or maybe you're a little bit late and you don't see anyone, feel free to call from your cell phone and we'll send someone out. So the nurse will come out and she'll do the screening outside with you. The screening that I mentioned earlier, the temperature, the symptoms check and so forth. And then once that we determine that everything's all set, the nurse will walk the guest in and you'll move off, and then the next person will pull up in line. Okay. If we are picking you up, so some people get rides from us, we'll also do the screening outside. So what that means is when the driver pulls up, that once you see that the driver's here or the driver calls you, you'll bring the guest outside and the driver will check temperature and go through the questions outside. Okay, so we're confirming that the guest is well before the guest puts on their mask and gets into the car, or hopefully the guests will already have their mask on. But before the guest gets into the car for the drive to the center, we're only transporting one guest at a time in the car now because well, that's what the CDC guidelines say, and it makes sense. It's a very small space. You can't social distance with more than a couple people in the car at the same time. And just so you know, those of you using transportation, we have a very strict cleaning protocol. Each time someone gets out of the car, we completely clean the car. We disinfect the car. And whether we're disinfecting surfaces in the center or in the car, we make sure that the cleaning products meet the CDC clearance level. They need to, there are certain cleaning products that clean COVID-19, and those are the ones that we are using. So, and then when you come to pick people up from the center, you know, the day is done, same thing, just wait outside in your car. You can give us a call. If you don't have a cell phone, then just come on time. If you're early, you can certainly pull up to the portico. Just know that it might be a few minutes because we're getting people together. And we'll all get the hang of it. We're putting safety first. And after a couple days, we should all get a sense of like how this works, and it should feel more comfortable. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to call or email. And we're really looking forward to having fun together. Thanks.